Hello and welcome to Manor Lords. This is a game that I've been waiting for probably about 5 years now. Certainly, as probably a little bit longer than actually having a YouTube channel, which is coming up to 5 years in August. So, yeah, I've been after this game for a long time, and finally it is here. So this is essentially a city building game. We did play the demo of this a couple of years ago, but they've now got the full well, I say full release. It's an early access release coming out on the 26th of April, and Hooded Horse, who are the publishers, have been very kind enough to give me a early access key so that I can show it all off to you. So I've actually been playing the game in my own time quite a little while now. Over the last week or so, and this is sort of progress I've made with my little city, my little town. It's developed quite a bit. I'm quite a few hours into the game here, but as you can see, proper little town coming together. We do also have a couple of regions that we've now taken control of and starting to build up in other regions as well. So basically the whole aim of this particular game mode that we're in currently is to take over the map. Now we do have sort of like another lord on the map, but as the game is early access at the moment, the lords aren't actually building their own towns or anything on here. They just appear with an army, so they'll still kind of take over places, which you do by sort of laying a claim to it, and then if the claim is disputed, you have a fight, and that's where the Lord's army will come in and you get to have a fight. But I think when the game is certainly in full release, which is probably going to be a few years to be fair, you will have AI controlled cities being built. And I think as well at the moment there's a limit as to how big we can make the manor. So we've got a little Morley manor here. How big we can make it, the level the walls will go up to, and all stuff like that. So we can't have massive castles at the minute, but that will certainly come in the future. They did have cavalry for their army kind of mechanics in the game, but that's currently undergoing a rework. But I am going to do a proper playthrough series of this in the future. But the whole point of the game is very much eco management, city building, with a little bit of fighting to go with it. But predominantly, it is city building. The actual fighting side of things is quite rare, I would suggest. So don't go into this game thinking it's a real-time strategy. It isn't. It's a city builder with some fighting. But as a big fan of city builders, this is right up my street. So yeah, it's all about just balancing your economy with different sort of production routes, if you like. So we've got farms which produce barley, wheat or flax at the moment. Flax is used to create clothes with. So the flax goes to weavers. The weavers will turn it into linen, which is what you'd make clothes with. Obviously wheat is for the bakeries and barley is for your breweries. So we do have breweries here. These guys will make your ale, which will then go to the tavern, which we've got over here. And bloke there just having a beer and a couple of apples, why not? And then you kind of use all these things to upgrade your houses. So as you can see, if I click on this burgage plot, which is your houses, you can see it's got certain needs in order to upgrade the house. Tavern supply is a little bit low at the moment, so could probably do with some more barley on the go, but that's kind of how it works. So you need all these different production chains to be able to upgrade your buildings and level up through the game. But obviously the more you level up, the more access you get to bigger things. But we have a whole range of different resources. There's quite a lot. So you've got timber, planks, stone, you can make tools, some wooden parts. I'm not quite sure what the wooden parts are for. Maybe that's going to be a siege kind of mechanic that you would have in the game later on. Reef tiles, blocks, don't know what the blocks are. Maybe the blocks will be used for stone walls, which we don't have yet. Obviously there's lots of different food, so meat, vegetables, berries, bread, eggs, apples, honey. We've got fuel, so pretty much every house and every kind of industry will require fuel, so having plenty of firewood collectors, I can't remember what they're called, not wood, I think it is just woodcutters, and also charcoal pits as well, so charcoal kilns. These will turn firewood into charcoal, which make it last a bit longer. It's a bit more efficient fuel method. Loads of stuff, obviously all the different farming. You got all the different types of crafting materials, so dyes, clay, iron slabs, iron ore, malt, wax, linen, blah 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 blah. Even salt, we've got salt on there as well. I've not come across any salt yet, but you can make candles. So you make candles out of the beeswax from your apiaries. Yeah, quite a lot of different production queues, and as you can see, we've got like military gear. So there's lots of different types of weapons. You make shields, different types of armor. You can see we've got mail armor, we've got plate armor, we've got gambesons. It's different types of armor and stuff. So essentially, from the fighting mechanics, you make all of your armor, and your troops are actually from your village. So all your villagers, you've got a certain number of them that can be mustered into your army, and you'll take them to war. So if you die, if you lose all your villagers or all your army, your actual town will take a massive hit with the economy. You'll find your production slows. It could even lead to people starving. So yeah, quite important to kind of time your battles right. But if I just rally some troops and see how it works. So just rally some troops. I did lose my retinue recently. I've actually lost quite a few troops recently. I had a big fight earlier. I lost quite a few of my troops. But here they are. They're all assembling, coming out of their houses. And they're going to go and have a fight. So whilst they all gather together, let me just show you these burgage plots. So the burgage plots, these are your houses. They have families who will be allocated to certain jobs within your village. So for example, in the church, I've got one person allocated to work at the church, or one family allocated to work at the church. But we do also have these little plots that you can add on to the houses, which will contribute to the stores. So for example, this one's got a chicken coop, there's other ones with vegetable patches. They will obviously kind of manage that within their own little house, but they'll go and sell it at the market. It'll all kind of gather up at the market. So you can actually see at the minute because I've put these chicken coops and vegetable plots on pretty much everything. I've got a lot of vegetables and eggs in stock, so my people aren't going to starve to death, because they've got plenty of food coming in from these burgage plots. But as you saw earlier, we've got breweries, so you can upgrade your level 2 burgage plots into your breweries. We've got bakeries, we've got blacksmith, armourer's shops. So you'll find a lot of your burgage plots are actually where you would get all the different buildings from. There are some, quite a few buildings that are kind of independent from those, so like your charcoal kiln, your foresters' huts, and foresters' huts. I've not got any of those down yet. Could do with those, because I need to replant the trees that I've been chopping down, especially here where the berries are. So I'm going to put one of those down. And the reason why I'm putting one where the berries are is because if you kind of got rid of all the trees from where your berries are, your berry like stocks, if you like, will disappear. So that was 64 as a maximum before. It's down to 16 because I've chopped all the trees around. down from around it. So yeah, it's kind of had a massive impact on that. So one thing you do find in Manor Lords as well, which is really, really good, is it's got seasons. So at the minute, I think we're in autumn, yeah, October. So all the berries are gone. They've all been picked. It's not in season at the minute. But you'll find in the spring, this deposit will start replenishing itself, and you can start picking the berries again. Likewise, we've got a deer patch over here, so we can harvest or hunt the deer in there. We've got 18 out of a maximum of 40 deer in that little area at the moment, but that gives you a bit of meat production. And certainly with the seasonal aspect of things, it's very much applicable to your farms. So you'll start ploughing the fields in the off season, and then throughout sort of like spring, you'll be planting your seeds and they will grow, and then in September your villagers will start to harvest the crops, and that's when you can start making flour at the windmill, go to your bread bakeries, and so on and so on. So yeah, it's quite a complex game. Army, there we go, I forgot about the armies. Let's have a little look at my troops. So you kind of, in terms of controlling these, it's very much the same as you would in Total War, I suppose. Now, I've got a bit of a potato computer, so the graphics aren't as good on my computer as you probably would have seen on other streamers' videos. So yeah, I do need a new computer, but it still looks pretty good though, to be fair. But those are your troops. Like I say, well, it's pretty much the same as it does in Total War in terms of, you can get them all selected. There's various little commands. So there's missile alert, there's like a unit stance. So that will make your units a little bit more alert towards enemy arrows coming in. So it's just kind of like a defensive stance, really. Stop them getting battered by the arrows. We've got a balanced stance, stand your ground. Defense is doubled, but attack frequency is halved. Push forward. Soldiers try to push forward with a full force. That's probably got a bit of a lowered defense to it. But again, they can run or walk as well. Obviously, running will tire them out. But yeah, my army's not very big at the minute because I lost quite a few troops recently. So yeah, I had quite a large battle, but it was quite good fun. I will do. I'm going to do a proper playthrough series of this fairly soon. But I just wanted to introduce you to Manor Lords, show you what's involved a little bit before going into a playthrough series. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else really I need to explain about it at this point. Maybe I do. We've got a tech tree, so as your town grows and you're leveling it up, you can kind of go through this tech tree. You have like a development point that you can spend. So for example, you could go on trapping here. This will provide a passive income of meat into your town. Now this is all dependent on individual towns as well, so what you've got in one town will be different to one of your other towns. So if I go to one of my other ones, they have their own. So this one, Waldbrand, has its own development tree. So see, this one's got trapping and it's got beekeeping. So if you're quite clever in what you're doing, you can kind of set it up so that you can essentially just send resources from one town to another and try and properly manage your eco, because each region will have different amounts of resources. I mean, you see that berry patch here. That's got 256 berries compared to my other one, which is pretty big. And you can actually use the berries for dyes. So not only are you using berries for food, you're using it for dye as well, which will impact your production of clothes, because you need to use dye in the clothes. So yeah, it's got quite an in-depth sort of eco tree, if you like. But each time you go to a different region, your little resources stockpile at the top will change. So this one's got 492 berries in, but if I go to the other region, you'll see those have all just switched now. So it did have 1k food in the other one. This one's got 554. There we go, it's just changed again. And then if I go to this one down here, it's changed again. This is a very new region. I've not really done anything with this one, so you can see I've hardly got any resources at that one. But yeah, it's kind of a case of now I've got 3 different regions. I've got to manage them all differently. Let's disband those troops, don't need them. You kind of got to manage them all differently and create a bigger picture. But I think if you are going to get this game, just be mindful this is an early access game. Be mindful that there's a lot of things that are missing at the moment. So like I say, AI opponents that will actually grow a town, build a town within these regions. There's probably going to be bigger cities, bigger castles, siege equipment. I think cavalry, certainly they do have cavalry in the game. It's just they've kind of pulled it for the time being because it's having a rework. And lots of other stuff as well. That's and obviously your towns will be able to level up to higher levels. There is a diplomacy aspect as well in the game, but it's not really much to it at the moment. So if I click on this person, drop a paragraph here, so you would have some different options on here, but there's not much here at the minute. So need silver, request funds, I'll put that there, send it over to him, just sent him a letter. Don't know when he'll reply, but sent it anyway. So that can probably influence things a bit later on in the game, when you've or certainly when the game's bigger than it is now. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with this game. So what I'm going to do is leave it there for now, and I'm going to do a playthrough series with a new save game and kind of take it from there. So if you are looking at looking to see how the game will start and how you can grow your town into being something like this, then do catch that game at play series that's going to be on its way pretty soon, and I'll see you over there. Cheers guys.